Hello! So we have another chapter of Fairy Tale today. Chapter 441, which is titled Caracol Island, or Caracolye? Caracolye? I'm just gonna call it Caracol Island. We open up the page and it's a nice little picture of Erza sitting at a table. I don't know if it's in Fairy Tale or she has a bottle of wine or something, and she's looking very flushed. She's just kind of chilling there. This chapter is very informational. First we have the Fairy Tale gang that's going off to rescue Makarov. They're on a ship now, and of course Natsu has motion sickness. I guess he never overcame that when since it's been a year. And then Wendy also got motion sickness along the year that they've been gone, so I don't know what that's all about. Maybe when you grow older as a dragon slayer, then you gain motion sickness, because she never had it before. So I'm wondering why she got that all of a sudden. And then they're talking about the master, and Erza's talking about how Makarov decided to leave and his resolve, and more questions about Lumen his story are arisen, and and then they say that there's like, oh, there's more questions to be answered. Obviously, we don't know. And then they were saying how they don't know why the first body is there, and if it's alive, or if she's dead, or why her body is even there and what it can do. They know that it's a weapon, so we just don't know what it's gonna do, because the master obviously said that he didn't want to use it, and Lucy quotes him and says he didn't have the courage to use it. So I feel like maybe it could possibly be something that is so destructive that it can either destroy all of Magnolia or whatever, with the vicinity of wherever it is, or it's just dangerous in general morally, maybe. He didn't have the courage to maybe bring the first back. I don't know, we don't know, we still don't know why it's so dangerous and why it poses a threat. Maybe it has something to do with Natsu. I don't think the master or Makarov has any idea what Natsu is, or that he's End. I don't think he knows, but maybe Mavis knows. Who knows? I don't know. Nobody knows. So then we have that, and then they're going to this island, and they find that they are going to do like a investigative report on the spy that Mess has come in contact with, and they're going to try to infiltrate Alvarez, but they're going to meet him there, and he's going to give them information. And then we cut to Gajeel and their team, and they're looking for Laxus, and they're on their way, and Gajeel says they have a 0% chance of winning. At least Natsu and all of them have a 0% chance, so that's why they're trying to go get Laxus and Raishinshu to help out. I'm sure they've been doing some training while the rest of everyone else has been, or how they've all been gone for the whole year. We don't know what they've been up to, but I'm sure they've gotten stronger. I wouldn't imagine them not getting training at all. So Gajeel knows where he says his sources know where Laxus is. So they're off to find him, and then Levy shows up and is like, well, you forgot about me. I'm gonna go on this mission too, because I have all of my brain power and knowledge about things, and she doesn't want to be left out. And we also have Gajeel Levy little moment where she's like, you're stupid, and she's like hitting him, and then Juvie is like, that's flirting, and it's just kind of like, okay, some fan service there, I guess. So Levy says that they're a force that they should not mess with head on, so they want to investigate and infiltrate, like what they're trying to do, what Lucy and them are trying to do. So she doesn't think that they can beat them on their own, that they need help. And then hopefully the master might be able to help, I don't know. Now they're at Caracol, they get to Caracol, and then they look through the little spyglass, like, got Johnny Depp, channeling Johnny Depp right here. Bess has his little spyglass that he just like pulls out. He's looking through it, and then Wendy and they see that some Navy ships from Alvarez have docked on Caracol Island. So now they're like, oh shit, we have to be careful, and they decide to. I mean, later they decide to go into disguises and stuff. But what I thought was interesting is that Natsu and Wendy both could hear their conversation from the docks. So they have super hearing now. They can hear like a mile away, or 2 miles away, 3 miles away. I don't even know how far away they are, but that's pretty impressive. And they're both sitting there like all sick, and they're just like, it sounds like that they're investigating everyone that's coming into the shore. So I'm interested to see how that'll come in handy eventually. And this is only when they're like incapacitated pretty much right here, and they can hear that far and they can understand that much. So I'm wondering what else could they hear? Can they hear behind closed doors? Can they hear like inside someone's room? Can they hear someone going to the bathroom, like taking a poop? I don't know where they park their ship. I don't know. They were like, oh, we should probably not dock here or close to there. So maybe they docked on the other side of the island. They get on the island somehow. Did they swim? Like, I don't know. So they disguise themselves, and Lucy and Erza are the ones like doing the talking. All the guys are just standing in the back like, what the fuck? And they use their sexual appeal to be like, oh, we're on the island because we're tourists and we want to see the star mangoes. And, you know, they're showing off their little boobies. And Wendy's like, oh, I'm so excited, sis. And then Gray's like, we're a family now? Just like, okay, that's relevant. So they're posing as a family, and they want to see the star mangoes. And then they also disguise their guild. I was curious about this, and then I was like, oh, okay. They disguise their guild marks as Kate Shelter, so we get a little nod to that old guild, made-up guild that Wendy was a part of. Charlotte's in her human form, and then they get in, so without the guards noticing that they were from Fairy Tale, but they were like, oh, we were told strictly that we need to investigate any guild that comes in, but then Erza and Lucy worked their boob magic, and they were like, boob magic, go! And then the guys were like, oh shit, they have boobs, let's let them through. And then all the guys are just like, wow, that's impressive. I don't know if they were impressive, I think they were just more like, wow, okay. So they go in, and they're like, we need to keep it down, we need to keep it on the down low. Everyone keeps telling Natsu, like, Natsu, you better chill the fuck out and don't cause any trouble like you always do, and fuck everything up because you can't do you don't know what the meaning of infiltration means, investigation, you don't know how to stay quiet. And, like, you know, keep your head low. And and then he's like, okay, alright, why, he's like, why is everybody picking on me? Obviously, because you're Natsu and you mess everything up all the time. So he's like, he a nod back to like the first season where he puts like the little scarf around his neck and he's like, nin. He's doing like the, but then of course, then that's blown out of the water when this little kid is like being tussled around by the guards, and he's like, bring me back my dad, and then they're like, oh, little kid, you're gonna get it because you're complaining about your dad. And I guess they took his dad, maybe he was a mage, I don't know, we don't know. So then one of the guards threatens to like stab the kid with like a knife or something, and then they're like, and then Erza's, but before that, Erza was like, Natsu, don't, because Natsu was like getting pissed, and then she was like, just leave him alone, and then he pulls a knife on the kid, and then the next panel is all of them, Erza, Gray, Lucy, and Natsu just like pummeling the guards that were like gonna mess with that kid. So that infiltration plan is messed up, and it's done. That's all that hype. Woo, gone. Even Mess is like, well, that's done. We're screwed. And then Wendy's over there, like, holding the kid, like, what the fuck? So, not good try for infiltration plan. I guess the Fairy Tale, I mean, what do you expect from Fairy Tale? Kind of disappointing, just very predictable. How they just bust in without any... They had a plan, but, you know, that was blown out of the water. Now I don't know what they're gonna do. Now they're probably gonna be like, you're obviously not Kate Shelter, or you're a guild that's that's a threat to what we're doing, and then hopefully next chapter we get to see who the spy is. So hopefully we get to see who the spy is next chapter, and if they're still relevant after this, after they just totally blew their cover. I mean, they still don't know that they're fairy tale, but I mean, I'm sure they're gonna find out eventually in the next chapter. And Natsu's last line is, "Kick-ass no jutsu." Like, is this Naruto? Just add like Date Bio at the end of it, then it'll be Naruto. Like, there it is. So that's it for me. Like I said, this chapter is just a bunch of more information that we're getting about Alvarez, and I mean, nothing really happened except they just got to the island that they're gonna meet the spy at, and then they're gonna, whatever they're gonna do from there, they're gonna get caught, I don't know. So we'll find out what happens in the next chapter of Fairy Tail. It's a long ride we're going on here. It's gonna take a while. Alright, bye!